Well, jobs are getting harder and harder to come by in our economy, and it's not just the recession we're going through. I think there's more going on, that stops from people getting the traditional jobs and the, the careers and everything. My kids coming out of college can't get jobs. People get laid off, can't get jobs. I mean, look at the data here that there's now 12 million people that are looking for a job, that need work. 12 million, wow. That's about what a wasted resource that's sitting there that our society can use that isn't being used. And I think a lot of this is they're going after traditional kind of jobs, and they're not there anymore. And here, inside that figure, there's 10 million of those 12 are just typically unemployed, but also, we have something called long-term unemployed, which is about 3 or 4 million. That means they've been out of work for a long, long time. And then we have another category called discouraged workers. And we got almost 1 million of them. And then we have 1 or 2 million of people that, gosh, they sort of look for work. They're more than discouraged. Just once in a while, they'll look for a job. Yeah. So that's a lot of people, looking for work out there. So what I'm trying to do is show people that, if you're not working, man, that gets, works on your mind and things like that. Look at this data they just found out in the Gallup poll. The longer you're out of work, the more likely you're going to be treated for depression. See, that has to do something on your psychology or your mind or whatever. If you don't feel wanted or you can't contribute, man, there's nothing more rewarding than doing work, really. Maybe love is another thing that does that. But that's what we're here to do. So there's other non-traditional ways that you could get work. You can't go to the normal sources of putting in resumes and getting in lines at the unemployment office or answering classified ads or job placement agencies or banging on your friends and neighbors and things like that. I mean, that may work, but there's other things out there that are even more certain to work, really, to get money, to get through those hard times, and to do that, in a respectable manner. And they're not scams. None of these things I'm going to tell you about are scams. None of them are going to ask you for money. Never give money to anybody who's said, yeah, give me money and I'll promise you a job. No, you're out of work. You're not going to do that. You just have to know where the jobs are. Now, instead of going banging on doors, to look for, hey, you need somebody to work or something. I mean, there's better things now because of technology where you put your name in to where people are looking for people in a hurry to work, are looking for help to do things. Maybe it's small things, maybe it's bigger things, all kinds of things that you could get work. And instead of banging on doors and hoping for something, no, you want to be at the place that people are going to get people to work for them. I mean, I do that now. I don't go through traditional means. I go on these kind of websites or whatever. And what's neat about working this way on these websites is that, gosh, I mean, you have no boss. You have no work schedule because you set up your own schedule. You work when you want, for how much you want. You decide what you're going to work for, and you just turn it down. And you decide if you don't want to do something. So it also fills so many other needs I think we have as individuals, being a little more control of our work. And you do it at home or whatever, and things like that. So these kinds of sites, I'm going to show you 25 websites now that will either do that for you, and again, they don't cost anything, so don't let people charge you money for you because you're out of work and they promise you a job. And actually, on my YouTube channel, Matthew Lesko YouTube/Matthew Lesko 70, you can see video interviews of the people who run these sites and what it's really all about. So if you want more background information. So, okay, so to get jobs, where do you go with people hiring for jobs right now that you can make an extra $500, $1,000 or $40,000 or whatever, right on the internet, right in here. That's your ticket to so much work that's available. And it's all over the country. Okay, here's some of the websites. Take a look at TaskRabbit, right? these are for all little jobs somebody needs to do, and they didn't do them quickly. So they're going there and putting it on the website, and they're vented. The people that are asking for jobs, I mean, they have to fill out big, long applications. It's not like responding to a classified ad or in Craigslist. You don't know all these scams and what people are putting on these things because there's no requirement. You just send them money and put it out there, you know. But here they're vented, so you know for sure. You know, you're a lot more secure in dealing with this, and there's no charge. You have nothing to lose. Here's another one, Gig Walk. You know, that's where companies are looking for people all over the country, you know, just to do quick things for them. Go see this. We want to see what this store is like. And you make a quick extra money something. Odesk, ODESK.com. That's a, boy, they have all kinds of, you can do customer service at home or whatever, things like that for just an hour a day or 20 hours a day or whatever. See, I mean, this is the kind of thing. You don't have to go, you know, go to some office and bang on their door and fill out an application. No, all that guy. Mechanical Turk, that's part of Amazon, you know. And they do the same kind of thing. Freelancer.com, Guru.com, Elancer.com. Or here's some other neat websites to do that. If you're looking to sell your services or whatever you think you could do for other people, there's something called like Fiverr, Fiverr.com. You know, for $5, you show somebody how you could do something. You know, like, hey, you want to know how to fix a leaky toilet or something? So you do $5 worth. Maybe you send them a little report. Here's the 5 things you have to look at for fixing a toilet. You know, anything like that. Look at that Fiverr.com. It's hilarious, some of the stuff that people do. And it's really not you're going to make $5. You're not going to pay the mortgage for that. But it's a way to introduce yourself to people who then could go for, you know, have you do more things than that. See, but people who need things done are looking at these sites. They're not coming down your street and banging on your door. Hey, will you do this for me? No, it's all here. You have to know what's going on here. And what's neat about the technology of these sites, they do all the marketing for you. Yeah. They're finding you people who are looking for you. You don't have to go find people looking for you. They're doing it for you. You know, and that's why you want to be in these things. Well, here's another way to make money too. You have a lot of stuff in your closet you probably never wear again. Okay, they call peer-to-peer fashion. You could really, instead of going to, it's sort of like a consignment shops, but they give you more money than a consignment shop. You get like 50% more than a consignment shop, you know, and you just send it up. They give you the packages and all that. So look at these sites: Tradesy, Tradesy, Threadflip, and LikeTwice.com. All those sites are. So you have money sitting in your closet you don't even know about. Hey, you like taking care of pets? Well, here's a website that finds you customers. All you have to do is fill out a little form on the website, you know, and then people are looking for you. See, that's what's neat about this stuff. You don't have to go banging on every door in the street looking for the work. They're looking for you, so you're right there. That's why you want to be there and get this work. That's why more work is being done there, you know, than the old traditional methods. It's called pet vacancy, PETVACAY. So you take care of somebody's pet going out of town for 2 weeks. You're going to be half the price as the kennel and a hell of a lot nicer, right, than being with a pack of hounds. And if you love pets, man, that's a neat little business you could do. And they do all the marketing for you. They do all the, you know, customers. They check out the customers and everything. So, you know, it's just a safe way to do little businesses like this while you're looking for work or instead of work or making a whole career out of this. Why not do it like that? Well, here's like an Uber and Lyft.com and Side.cr. These places are, you could drive people around like in a taxi, you know, and people are making like $90,000 a year doing this. There's no regulations, you don't have to get a license or whatever, you just get vented by the website. And the website gives you customers. See, that's what's neat about this. You know, you don't have to, the hardest part of any business is finding customers. Anybody can do a product, that's the easy part. Like I could write a book on anything. I can't, you know, finding the customers, I spend 80% or 90% of my creativity trying to find somebody to buy my books. So that's right. You want to do pet sitting or what, take care of pets, you know, in your home, you know, while people are away. Man, that may be a big thriving business. Or, you know, use your car to drive people around or run errands, or they have to do this. See, that's all on the app, all on the phone, you know, and people want that. You know, you're a lot less than a taxi, but you don't have that overhead. See, with all these businesses, why they're popping up now in a new way of doing businesses, what they call peer-to-peer. You are providing a service or something for everybody else because you don't have a bureaucracy. You're not Avis. Avis is going to charge, gazillion dollars. The taxi cab has to call gazillion dollars because they need operators, they need all this other kind of stuff. But no, just on a website, coordinates all this thing. You put your name and car in there and say when you're available, and then stuff starts showing up. Yeah, that's how this kind of stuff works. Or here's another thing. You have somebody else use your car. The average person uses their car like only 20%. So 80% of the time the car's sitting there doing nothing. Okay, you could be making this one office program called Relay Rides. Everybody who signs up, and they have like tens of thousands of people, make an average of $250,000. I mean, $250 a month. So that's an extra $250 a month. That's average. Some are making $1,000, $2,000, $4,000 even a month. So that's what I mean. This could be a big business. So you buy another car if you're making $1,000 a month. You pay a payment of $300 and. You got a nice little business, and that's called Relay Rides. And the other big one is Get Around, and all it means is signing up on the site with the car, whatever, and waiting for that phone to ring. That's the nicest part of doing business, and that's why about these websites, see, they do all the marketing. You open a store, nobody comes into your store. You're out of business. Same thing. You put a website on there, because you're doing this as a maybe your own website. Your car's available. Who's going to come to your website? But now when you're part of this big website that people are coming, thousands and thousands of people every day are coming to these websites looking for this kind of opportunity because they pay less than traditional means. So that means that you're going to have a service that is less than traditional cost. So you're making more money, they're saving money, and everybody is a win-win. So that's going to even work. There's even a company that when you go down, it's called Flight Car. When you go to the airport, you leave your car with these guys, they wash your car, they rent it out to people who need a car, and they give you a big chunk of the money, right? And then they pick you up at the drop-off point or whatever it is when you land back at the airport, and then you take the car and drive home. A nice clean car and a wad of cash in your wallet. See, I mean, who would ever think? How are you going to go and figure out that that's an opportunity? I mean, there's not a job placement office for that. No, you have to know about this stuff that's going on there. And that's why this new economy, there's so many things going on that was never before there. So most people don't know about it. See, and you don't want to be the last. So you're looking for spare change, you can't make ends meet, or whatever. You're out of a job. There's chronic unemployment, long-term unemployment. I mean, all this is serious business in our country right now. I mean, look at the data now, that how debilitating it is not having a job. And the longer you don't have a job, the worse it is on your well-being as a person. So that's why it's important to investigate these opportunities that are out there. Or if you already have a job and you need extra money, that's what these things are good for. So how about, here's another interesting one, is letting people park at your house. That's right. I mean, people are making like $4,000 extra because when people are, flying into town or they're looking for a place to park, they don't want to park at somewhere else, in a garage or something. They park in your house, and you get paid for that. See, and you don't have to worry about the people, where they come from, why they want to park. That's all done online. And all you do is sign up, say, hey, my house and the front of the house is there, for people to park. Or even at the airport, say you live 3 miles from the airport. Well, man, if you're going to make a couple $100, you could have the guy parked there and you'll drive him to the airport and back, right? I mean, that's a nice day's work. So that's what I mean. There's so many opportunities. And who would have known about that before, this thing came along, the internet and all these ways. And again, see, that's cutting out the big organization called the parking lot management company, So you could do it a lot cheaper than anybody. And that's what's happening in our society. You get things better, cheaper, and more satisfying. Or how about this? You realize there's 150,000 people a day looking for a place to stay that's not in a hotel. And this website called Airbnb is worth billions and billions of dollars now, because it's just people. You have a sofa, you want to use your somebody could use your sofa even. Yeah, you have an extra bedroom. You want to, for a day, a week, a year. I mean, a lot of us have big houses and rattle around in them empty, not a lot of people. Even then, you clean out that old room or whatever and fix it up and make a couple $100 a month, thousands of dollars a month, whatever it's worth. You have an extra, apartment or something. This is it. It's temporary. And see, the beauty of this, they do all the hassle. They even provide insurance too, so you don't have to worry about all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's phenomenal what's going on. It's all on the internet. These are not big companies that need big overhead. It's a handful of people running a website. That's it. So, as I say, it's not like Hilton Hotels has this big management structure you have to deal with. No, it's your bedroom, and a website, and that's it. That's why the hotel people are getting very worried about this. And that's why there's more ways to make a living, get jobs. You don't have to be unemployed. You don't have to be lack for work. Here's 25 ways. Or here's another. You could grow food in your backyard. That's right. You contact your local county cooperative extension service. This is all free. They'll help you figure out how to do that if your yard's big enough. And it may be. I mean, look, there's like 8,000 farmers markets. Everybody wants local, fresh, grown food. So you grow it for yourself or somebody else, a neighbor, and there's now distribution systems to sell local grown food, because it costs a lot of money to eat strawberries from California, because they got to drive them here, however the heck they get them here. But if you have strawberries locally that you're growing in the backyard, they'll be better, fresher, nicer. And it's an interesting thing. And so that's why these things are happening in our society, but you don't know about them because we're all stuck. Particularly the older you get in life, the more you want to use the stuff that already worked, and the stuff that already worked doesn't work anymore. And so you gotta learn this other stuff. So there's no reason not to be employed doing something, not to be contributing, not to be making some cash somewhere where it's extra or the only cash you have. You could do it with these 25 websites, and that's just a start. That's not everything. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. But it's a start, and that's what you need. Well, here's a cool grant you gotta act fast on. Now, it's by March, I'm sorry, March, what the heck is this? June 20th. That's just days away. By 5 p.m. Pacific time, they're giving out like 20 to 25 grants of $500 to $1,000 from people who want to show their neighbors how to have fun saving money. It's actually from Shareable, an organization called Shareable.net. And they're trying to show you this shared economy, how if neighbors get together and share their expertise, or bicycle sharing, or somebody set up a computer kitchen where people could come and you learn how to fix your own computer, because other experts share the knowledge on on fixing computers. So see, if we're sharing a lot more in our society like that, then we don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money, right? Also, we get to know our neighbors, and the whole sort of the sense of neighborhood changes like that, and it's a more fun experience. I mean, there's like they're sharing skills. So some neighborhoods have one day, a month or something. Everybody comes and gives a free 90-minute course on how to do something you're an expert in, and that the people in your community are not. So look at this grant, and actually look at the guys' websites too, because they show you about things like this, that you could save money, by sharing things and sharing people. Why buy more crap that you're going to put in your house, but instead you can share it from other people just when you need it. Most of the stuff we buy, we barely use. And that also goes for things like services, that you could share. It's because services are expensive. Go to shareable.net. That's Shareable, SHAREABLE.net. Go there and find out the details. They said it only takes about 30 minutes to fill out the application. And then just think of not only things that you're doing for yourself, but for your community too. And everybody's going to win, if somebody in your neighborhood doesn't apply for this grant and start this stuff happening. Isn't it great to give? You know, I always think that, you know, giving is the most selfish thing in life. You know? Well, here's a chance, you know, to give like $20,000 of someone else's money to your favorite charity. Yeah. And actually, there's a company called Medtronics that's giving out $20,000 to 20 people who have been influenced, whose life really changed because of medical technology. You know, and then they give you the $20,000 to give to your favorite nonprofit, or maybe you're working with a nonprofit, because people are so appreciative sometimes of the medical technology that expanded their lives that they couldn't. So they wind up really giving more. So they're looking for people to give this money to, 20 people, that's right, 20 grand a piece, and a trip to Hawaii. Look at some of the people who got it last year. Jennifer Jones, she said she wouldn't be able to live now without her insulin pump. You know, so she's trying to get, she uses the money to give to a refugee camp, actually in Burma. Or this young woman out in Minnesota, Sarah Meslow. Now she has a implant cardiovascular defibrillator when she was 29. She said that expanded her life, you know, tremendously, and, and now she has $20,000 to give back. Or Allison Smith Conway in California, she had Parkinson's disease at 32, and there's some kind of medical device that stimulates the brain that manages her system, or symptoms, and she's so grateful for her life extension, and so she got $25,000 or $20,000, you know, to give back. Or there's a guy in New Jersey here who had sudden cardiac arrest 4 different times, and he had a defibrillator, whatever you call it, implanted that really, you know, enhanced his life for many years that he wouldn't have without that technology. And so medical technology, even though the healthcare system is pretty screwed up, we got a lot of good techie stuff that could really help people. So if you want to apply for this, you have till July 18th. You know, and then they choose the best stories. It takes just a few minutes to fill out the application, or if you know somebody, pass it on. You know that somebody, you know, through some kind of medical, you know, contraption that they got involved with that extended their life and the quality of their life, and that's a good story to share. So you go to Live On Give On. It's actually, you Google Live On Give On, Live Liveon Giveon, and it's part of the Medtronics Corporation, Medtronics. But I found it easily just by Googling Live On Give On. Application is right there, you fill it out, and it seems pretty easy. And every application, actually, they give $10 to a nonprofit, a charity. So you fill out a form, even though you don't win, you gave to some nonprofit. Now that's cool. I don't know if you heard the announcement for the White House this week, but it's huge, man, and especially for the 5 million Americans that are stuck with student debt and can't make payments. What they've done is to make the people, 5 million of them are eligible for this program. If you have trouble paying for it, you only pay 10% of your income. That's right. And not only do you get a break on not paying the full payments, but if you don't pay it off in 20 years, they forgive all the rest. Right? So it's a wonderful deal. And it just started, so it's called Pay As You Earn. Okay, and the reason, you know, people are student debt is, you know, pretty obvious. It's college tuition. I mean, that's just been crazy. When you look at the past 30 years of college tuition, that increased over 200% in 30 years. Okay, so you have 200% in college tuition going up, you know, in 30 years, and you know what the average income went up? 16%. So you have people not making any more money and college tuition skyrocketing. And that's really because all the money and loans and things like that the federal is providing. So the colleges, hey, we're going to take money and you're going to get it somewhere else and borrow it, and we don't have to worry. And, you know, it's just nuts that we do this thing. But the important thing is solve your problem, which is a student loan problem. So, and don't Google Don't go out and Google, pay as you earn or student debt, because what you'll get is people trying to sell you money again. Oh, we'll refinance, we'll do all, and it's just people making money off again. Don't do that. The Department of Education is going to take them a few months to write the regulations on how to deal with this. So you can't do anything real soon, but the way to find out about it, and you can because they have a similar program for some people now. It's the Pay As You Earn program, but it's not for a lot of people as it will be now. 5 million people are now eligible for it. But it's the same guideline. So if you go to studentaid.ed, studentaid.ed.gov, studentaid.ed.gov, and you search there under Pay As You Earn. Okay, don't call these people, on the internet or whatever, or your phone calls, these financial experts. They're going to sell you something. You don't want to buy anything. You're already in debt. You want to get the benefit that's out there that doesn't cost anything. So it's the Pay As You Earn program. And another thing, if you have trouble finding out what it really is or how you can use it, contact your elected official, your congressman, senator. They know. They get dozens of calls like this, and they know exact place where to put you in touch with to figure out your particular situation. And what you do is you go to votesmart.org, votesmart.org, and that's the way you put in your zip code, and you find out who your congressman is in their local offices or whatever. And they have staff people that help you, because just think if they got rid of your student debt, man, you'll vote for that son of a gun no matter what they do. Won't you? But it's the government as a whole doing this. They're just a representative, and so use them. So that's it. It's called a Pay As You Earn program, and you only pay 10%, and they forgive if you can't pay in 20 years. Goodbye. Now, I think you're going to miss something very important if you don't watch this next video. I think, the fellow you're going to see is very indicative of what's really happening in our country nowadays. I mean, here's a nice young man, he's got some talent and everything, but, and he started a business, shirt business, okay, customized shirt business, knew nothing about it, and said, hey, we should have that. Then he says, boy, he starts thinking about another idea that he thinks the world should have. And this is something like, if you could take your iPhone or any kind of phone and you watch a movie on it, well, they have a little projector so you could project it on the wall. Wouldn't that be cool? And that's what he thought, wouldn't he? Go, but he's not an engineer, he's not a techie or anything about it. But what he was able to do is go on the internet and find the help he needed, right? And so put the time and energy of find the talent that he's missing. And he went all over the world for it, at a reasonable cost. I mean, you just don't go to, some big consulting firm in the States anymore and try to get the expertise you need. It'll cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So for a small fraction of the price, you could get that kind of help. Other places in the world, I mean, physics is physics, when you're talking about this kind of things. And so that's what he did. And then he put it on the internet to get funding, and he got like $110,000 in 5 days. $110,000 in 5 days. And he says, and you'll see this in the interview, that man, he would not have done this if it wasn't for the internet and being able to raise money on the internet. Because he said he would never go through all the nonsense that it takes in a traditional way of trying to get money to start a business and find investors and all that kind of nonsense that we did in this country. And now you don't have to do that. And not only don't you have to do that, you don't even have to know to be technically trained to run the business you're in. That's what's cool, And it's a one-man show that he's starting. I mean, he gets the help he needs, and that's what you can do. And that help is available now, just through the internet, and knowing how to use that. And that's why we have to learn that system if you want to grow something in this country. That the talent is out there now at a click of a mouse or whatever. You have to start learning how to use it in order to take advantage of it, because that talent is like oil under the ground. If you don't dig it out and use it, it's useless to anybody. So you start digging and watch him and see how he did. Okay, well, Alex, you are the one that is really going to change and revolutionize, man, I guess it's the projection industry or the movies or displaying videos. I mean, now you made something almost the size of a phone that you could project and watch real stuff, not on a little bitty phone, but on the wall or anything.
Yeah.
And for an incredible price, and nobody's done this before. And it took you, who was, first making shirts and the beautiful material of these shirts, decided to do this. Why'd you do this? I mean, you were making good money with the shirts, and you're still doing that.
The shirts is it's what I call it's a mature business.
Ah, I see.
I mean, there's going to be shirts. You're going to have it in 10 years, 20 years.
I see.
Something that's not what I call, what I'm doing with Dos Sal's Odin is very revolutionary. It's different.
Yeah.
It touches a lot more people.
Yeah.
With custom stuff, it takes a lot of time, and it's not very scalable.
People. Well, no, I mean, you have a product, and both of these products, it seems to me, you had like 5 years in investment banking or something before you got into these ventures.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me is that both of these ventures you had no background in. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not an electronic, wizard or an engineer even, or been in the fabric business or clothing or had a retail store or anything. And both of your businesses are nothing to do with your background except, God, the world needs this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think once you find the right people that can do it,
Yeah.
like I don't do the actual sewing or the cutting, but
Right.
I know and I found the people that do the sewing and cutting.
Right.
I don't actually solder the PCB boards, or do I actually do the 3D design, but I find the people that can do it, and I put a team together and get it done. It's
And
my
that's
vision of what I want it to be, but the actual technical stuff I don't do.
Well, I mean, maybe because it's my age. I mean, to me, if I was, an entrepreneur in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or even 80s, or maybe 90s, I mean, you almost have to have a lot of that original stuff and talent in-house. And now it sounds like you're saying, hey, you just have to think of something you want to do, and you could find the talent, like through the internet or wherever it is, to do it.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So for my clothing business, I have the fabrics come from Italy, Europe, China, and the sewing is done in Hong Kong. And with UPS and FedEx, they can ship that in 2 days.
And anywhere, yeah. Now, I have glasses coming from China soon.
What's not coming from China?
Yeah, I know, exactly. Your shirts.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, it's amazing. And by the way you're doing it, by going on crowdfunding sites now to raise the revenues to get some volume out of this stuff, you don't have to invest a bunch of money and find partners and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you don't. Actually, the reason I started, even thought about doing a crowdfunding is I saw my friend, Benjamin Rogers. He had this My-Type keyboard, which is like a foldable keyboard.
Oh, is that? I saw that. You bought one, didn't you?
Yeah, he's my friend.
I see.
He started that, and I was like, wow, if Benjamin can do it, I can totally.
I see. I can make a projector.
Yeah, I can make a projector. I could get this financed and produced. So I was like, well, it's a lot more doable. If it wasn't for Kickstarter, I would have never started it.
Really? Huh?
Yeah, never.
No.
Because, going to investors and giving them the ideas, trying to get produced, in forever.
Yeah, and then what you had to put up with doing it too. Yeah, you just took the joy out of doing it.
Yeah. And now I just kind of make, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, and so I mean that's another thing. As what you're saying is that now you could do ventures like this. You don't even need the expertise because you could find it on the internet, and you don't have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this help. Yeah, and then to get the money to do it. The same thing. You don't have to deal with people who are going to, rob your business or whatever because you need money.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you do have to go travel. I did travel to these places many times, and obviously, not everyone's going to work out.
Right.
You have to be willing to take that type of risk, but you do have to go there and meet them.
Yeah.
Or for internet development, I use Ukrainian developers.
Right.
So, but all the touch and feel, the way it looks, graphics, it's all U.S. based designers.
So But it's still, I mean, it's a fraction of what it cost you if you were building from scratch and starting an inventory, and so now that's, I mean, there's so many new opportunities, and I think we could solve problems in our society faster because of people like you are doing this, and you can do it, and you have less barriers to entry. There are no barriers to entry, you know. For a few $1,000s, you got this international company or whatever the hell it is. Yeah,
a little more than a few, but yeah.
I mean, it can be depending.
What it costs.
Yeah, and depending on the kind of product. I mean, some people can do it, you know, for different kind of products. And so your Kickstarter campaign, and God, I mean, you got 100 grand already. I mean, this is
After
phenomenal. 5 days. Yeah. How many days?
5 days.
5 days, you get $110,000. Wow!
Wow! I have to reach 250 to get that money.
Pardon me?
I have to reach
250, right? So you're halfway there almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, God, I mean, that's almost like Wall Street, huh? Making 100 grand in 5 days. I mean, there's very few places you can do that in the world. You know, that's just phenomenal. So I'm Kickstarter now, and the basic price is like under $500, right? And you had those that are a little late from the early bird, right? Right. So that was less. But more importantly, when this gets out in production and out in the marketplace, it's going to be a heck of a lot more.
Well, it's going to be a lot more because, you know, the third-party people, they need to get it.
Exactly. So you're looking at a bigger markup now, so anybody, and look at the video. I mean, people should go to your website just to look at that video, I think. And it's a great video you have there. The talent is wonderful. And so it's educated. No, I'm sorry. No, Dos Owls, like Dos Cervezas, por favor. This is Dos Owls, por favor. DosOwls.com, right? Yeah. And that's where you find it, and it's a wonderful idea. The technology is so compact that now you have a projector. You want to run a video from the internet and blow it up on a screen. You just grab your little gadget and you're able to do that anywhere, watching a movie with all your girlfriends because they all have to see it, or making a presentation to a client. Man, I mean, that's the, or you're a teacher. Could you imagine now here a teacher, you know, have this, and we all give seminars, we all give all this kind of stuff, so you have that one nice little package not carrying around. I have one of those down in the basement, those big projectors you used to have to plug into.
Yeah, so basically it's kind of like, you know, it doesn't have the drawbacks of a traditional projector. That's hot, heavy, and a lot of wires.
Right. And price. Yeah. I mean, those things are $1,000 minimum to get on board with. So this is wonderful. And thank you for being there. And people should check out your shirts because I'm a clothes horse, so I saw those shirts, man. And they're beautiful things. Yeah, I mean, that's nice material. You could tell that you worked hard on that material, getting the right kind of stuff there, the fabric. But to find you, it's Dos Owls, DOSOWLS.com. And you find Alex Wu there in all his businesses, right? And he's getting married next year, too, to boot.
Getting married next year, yeah.
Good for you. I do it all the time, Alex. It's great. Thank you so much. Okay, this next interview will show you the different kinds of services now that are on the internet that could save you a bundle and get you better than you could ever afford yourself. I mean, that's what's so neat about what's happening in our economy. You know, it's part of the shared economy, and it's really for kids. It's to get kids, you know, like 1 to 4 years old or so, to get them the right kind of toys. I mean, good toys are very expensive, and I don't know if you know this data. I ran into it by an expert. I was interviewing people interested in child development at the state and federal level, and they say that 90% of a child's brain, you know, is developed before the age of 4. So you got those 1 to 4 years that really going to catch hold on a child more than anything. So what's happening to that child at 1 to 4 years old is more important than what's going to happen to them in college with some professor. You know, so we should be paying a lot more attention and maybe even a lot more money on developing the ages 1 to 4 than we do in charging $50,000 for a college education and paying, you know, professors who knows what. You know, so this is what this is aimed at, and it's a place where you could go and get the best toys that are better for your child to develop their brain. You know, because now we go in the stores for toys, it's all this plastic junk and shoot 'em up. Who the heck knows what it is? But these are toys that are aimed at developing your child's brain, and they're expensive. You know, but they have a system like for about $25, $30 a month. You keep getting new toys. You get a box of toys worth about 120 bucks, and you pay like 25 or 30 or something like that, and you just keep getting new toys all the time, you know, and so that way you're not collecting old toys that you got to sell. Yeah. Also, the experts who choose these toys are child development experts. You and I don't know how you raise your kids. I was guessing like hell, you know. It's always nice to have the experts involved. When we go out and buy toys, what do? We go in the store, right? Some salesperson or some marketing person who's putting the right kind of picture and saying the right kind of words on that, you know, plastic box or whatever for you to buy it and bring it home to, you know, your children. And here is, you have a chance of having the best experts in the world help choose the toys for your child. And you keep getting new ones and new ones and new ones. And if you don't like it, see, you could also identify the toys that are coming before they're sent. And they say, oh, I don't want that one. I want this one. Yep. And so it's a neat service, and I think things like this are going to be growing more and more in our country because the internet makes it possible, you know, and buying in quantities for everybody. You could buy the toys too from them if you want, but it's better to use them. How long does a kid pay attention to a toy, you know, before they run out? So this makes a whole lot of sense. So watch this video. Well, Yasmin Kuro said you're with SparkboxToys.com, but you knew that. Yep. But it's what's wonderful what you guys are doing. I mean, it's for, I guess, for early childhood from 6 years old to like to 4 years. You really provide toys for parents that on a bargain price, but more importantly that they can get toys, you know, at the best price in the world, that you help them get the best toys for kids to develop their children and learning capabilities and all the important things that they need emotionally, physically, and, you know, linguistically, or with all that jargon that you guys, you know that it's important. That, and I know, I mean, I raised 2 kids and they're like 30 already, but boy, you go in the toy store and all the junk they're trying to sell you for outrageous prices, and you got fine quality stuff at wonderful prices because you're sort of like renting it, aren't you? I mean, for people. Yeah, that's why so you're part of the shared economy, you know, that we share it. Well, we're sharing things. So you send them a box of great toys, right? And does the customer help pick them out for you, or how does that work?
Well, they have that option. So we curate the boxes, but parents can go in at any point before their box gets shipped and switch out any of the toys they want for the ones they pick.
Ah, I see. So in other words, you find out a little bit about the child and you choose what they probably need at this age, and then the parent could look at that box you've collected and ready to send and say, oh, no, don't send that because we already got one of those, or something like that, right?
Exactly, and they just replace it with the click of a button.
Ah, and so that's all done on a click of a mouse. Huh? And so for 25 bucks, it seems like I get $120 worth of toys, right?
Exactly.
And I don't have to put them in the garage when the kid's growing, because I just go back and get another box of toys from you and keep recycling, which is
yeah. So.
And I mean, see, to me, that's a beauty, because I don't know, but to me, I feel the kid's attention span is like me, you know. I mean, I lose interest after I do something twice. Yeah, and you solve all those problems, and saving people money on the toy business. So does the toy industry hate you or love you? Where are they stand on what you're doing?
I'd say they really like us. We're promoting, you know, the top brands. Parents really love, and then, you know, we stop at age 4, but these brands continue on.
I see.
People.
So you're getting them hooked on a great product instead of hooked on some junk that they'll want more junk for the rest of their lives, right? So you're going to be responsible for the next generation all by yourself. Well, that's wonderful.
We hope so. We hope so. We hope all the kids use our toys.
Yeah. So what got this business started? I mean, who thought of this brainchild?
So it started last year by two girls. They were Panks, so they're professional aunt no kids, and they
They
were
were
always
what? Paint? What did you say that?
Panks. So they didn't have kids themselves, but it's a term called Panks. It's professional aunts no kids.
Oh, what is that? You see, you're educating me too. I'm
Well,
past six, but
Panks.
P, P,
Panks.
P-A-N-K. So professional, what? What's the A?
Aunts.
Professional on?
Aunts.
Oh,
Aunts.
professional aunts.
Yeah.
Oh, no kids. Oh, I see. Oh, professional aunt, like Auntie Mame. Right.
Exactly. Like
I
your aunt,
see.
and yeah.
Oh, so they're professional aunt. So they were always getting toys for other kids, and they wanted to get decent toys, and they had problems, huh?
Yeah, they came to the conclusion that they were constantly buying toys for their nieces, nephews, friends, kids, and they just noticed the accumulation of clutter, and they thought there should be
Ah,
something more
right.
efficient in the space.
Oh, that's wonderful. Right. So it eliminates the clutter. It's good for the environment because you don't have that extra crap you got to throw away after 4 years old. But more importantly, I think the best part is you have help as a parent getting the best toys for your child's development. And you're paying the least price because you're sharing these things with other people. So that allows you to pay a fraction of what you would have to cost. Yeah, well, it would cost you if you went to the store. I mean, it's just brilliant. Yeah. So what kind of feedback? I read wonderful reviews about you guys on the internet all over. And it must have a wonderful feeling for you be doing this kind of work.
Yeah, so parents are really loving our selection of toys. And I think what they also love is that when they're done playing with the toy, they ship it back. So they don't have to deal
Ah,
with the clutter is
right.
caused in the house.
So does a parent, I see you really take care of it if you're worried about germs from other kids and all that. You've got this down too, right?
Yes, so we have a 5-step process for cleaning and sanitizing the toys.
Uh-huh.
And once they're done with that, they're repackaged and then they're put back on our inventory
I
and
see.
ready for the next kid.
I see. I mean, I was seeing pictures of the boxes, the toys. I mean, they're all beautifully wrapped and
Yeah,
and uh, what do you call that? Not bubble wrap, but
packaged. Yeah.
package. You get a wonderful box of these toys, and then you could also select these by any time. And the price ranges from like what, $25 to maybe $30, depending on how often you want the cycle to happen, right? And your commitment is just 2 months. Is that it? That's a minimum
Yeah,
commitment?
you can
Yeah.
cancel anytime after the second
Right.
month.
Oh, so I don't have to marry you forever or
No, no contract, no
whatever.
fees. We pay for your shipping both ways.
Oh, you pay for shipping
You
both
know.
ways. Guys, oh, you must be busy as hell. I mean, everybody would want to do this. And it's just
Yeah.
obviously wonderful toys. I mean, I see them. I see the reviews of experts in the, child development field that say wonderful things about what you guys are doing, and
Yeah.
there's so many good things about what you're doing. It's just wonderful to have you people around doing this. So in other
You.
words, this was started with people without kids, but they were buying toys for kids all the time.
Yes,
For
exactly.
somebody else's kids. So they're the ones that had the time to figure this out. The people with the
Exactly.
kids were too busy. Well, that's wonderful. Well, you're a delightful person, Yasmin. Thank you for being there. And people want to know more about how just actually, what I think is great, even if you're not going to use a server, you go on your site and see all the great toys that they should be getting. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because you figure that out, what kids should have for their development, and they're all on your website. So people, listen, if you don't want to give Jasmine any money, say you just go to the site and look at that. So you educate yourself. They did all the work. Right?
Yeah, but we give a better price.
I know. That's what I mean. They'll go to the store. They'll see
$13 a month.
it. It'll be 100 and some bucks, and you get it for
Yeah.
almost nothing. Yeah, well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being there. And it's sparkboxtoys.com, right?
Got it.
Okay.
Box
Take
toys.
care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Smart. Water is going to be like the next, oil in our country, the next scarce commodity. I mean, we already have like water wars going on the West Coast. The farmers versus the ranchers, and now even where we live, you can only water your lawn certain days and all this kind of stuff. So it's very important very important in our society. Underdeveloped countries even have a bigger issue with water, right? I mean, it's more important to their survival, how they get it and things like this. Well, here's a guy who's solving all those kinds of problems, or a step towards solving all those problems, really, with just a $20 piece of plastic. That's right. And he's on the internet now, raising money for it on Kickstarter. And he's a delightful fellow. He's actually, you listen to him, his accent. He's in Australia, but he's really from England, so he has a little mix of both accents, if you could tell a difference. And it's hard for me to tell. It's just some of the words, you know. I'm his mate. Everything is mate down there. But he's a delightful person, and he was really involved in nonprofit organizations, non-governmental organizations that helped underdeveloped countries and things like this, so he knows this problem. But he's a camper. Okay, he likes going out in the woods, and one of his biggest problems is having water to take showers and wash hands and things like that. So it's almost like the same problems refugees have with water that campers have with water. And he made this little device that you stick on a 2-liter bottle of water. You can take like 3 showers with just a bottle of water hung up on a tree, you know. That's how it works. It's just a great idea. And you know what, when you're out, you know, with a bottle of water and playing, you know, soccer or something like that, and you're pouring water on a cut, you know, and there's so much excess water you don't need. This little device, you know, it makes it like a little sprinkler, and you can regulate it and everything. So wherever you're going with a bottle of water, you can have this and just wash your hands. You get like 30 hand washes or 20 or something godly name like that out of this. So it's a clever little device, you know, and important. Besides practical for us and daily, you know, developed countries use. Underdeveloped countries, man, are going to kill for this kind of thing, you know. So he's doing awful good work. So take a look how he thought of this and how he did it, and just out of his head working on it, and now he's getting money for it. Okay, well, Stuart Mason, man, I know you're from Australia. Actually, you're from the UK, living in Australia, and you're solving water problems and environmental issues and everything for the whole bloody world, aren't you? With just a simple little device that, what is it like? You know, on Kickstarter now you can get it for under $20 or something like this for this thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, under $20.
Yeah,
I think that's US dollars. Yeah, we still got a few early bird ones left.
Right. And what it does is, with a 2-liter bottle, any kind of water bottle, you make an instant shower. Yeah, anywhere you are.
Instant, anywhere.
Anywhere you are. So if you're out playing football, as you call it, we call it soccer here, with the kids, and it's instead of pouring water on something, it really regulates a water flow into a shower or almost anything you want, and conserves water. It is, you know, hygienic possibilities, and there's just so many things in that one little $20 thing. I just can't get over why you don't get a Nobel Peace Prize or something like this.
Thank you.
So what made you think of this thing?
I think where it started was when in Australia, the bottle, there was a bottle left in my car, and one day I kind of
water bottle,
water bottle. It was my plastic bottle was left in my car, and I kind of picked it up one day, and I was like, wow, the water in here is really hot, you see, and then I kind of pondered this and thought, this is free energy. This is just free energy. So how can I, you know, I tried to wash my hands with that bottle because I'd just been eating something, and then I realised, wait, why don't we just try and make and then it started going, my mind started going, and I was like lying there at night, and then went boom, I could make a tap out of this, and yeah, that's kind of where the idea started. It was just from a kind of.
Do you have one there? You could show on the video a little bit.
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah. I've got one which is this is how the.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah. So you hang that up, bottle of water. Now show the bottom more. Pull it up higher so we see the bottom. I see the nipple. It's not the nipple, but it's that's where the water comes out, right? And it sprays out. So you have that on the bottom. It's regulated, and the water pours out like in a, you know, in a shower, right? Yeah, like a tap. Yeah. You just ruined all your work there. I mean, it's just wonderful. And the material you're making that out of is not just some junky plastic. I mean, this is stuff that they're using in operating rooms, right? That you can never hammer that thing out or anything, right?
That's right. Yeah, I've actually got some here. It's medical grade silicone. And it's made by the manufacturers in Melbourne, Australia, and this is approved for food grade, water grade. It's antimicrobial, and it's got the molecular memory. You see, so the final product is actually going to be absolutely 100% safe, clean, effective, and the manufacturers we work with are basically specialists in making medical equipment that goes inside people in operations. So
what's amazing is because of how you regulated that flow, you could take as many as like 3 showers, like when you're out camping with a 2-liter bottle of water. I mean, that's fantastic. And what is it, 20 washes of hands? And
that's right. And my children just love it as well. When we've been out, we've been testing it in the outback here in Australia, and they come running over and they're like, Daddy, I want to wash my hands first. No, I want to do it. Let me wash my hands, Daddy. And it's like, oh, this is amazing.
But what I think is great too, I'm thinking, down at the beach where you're walking around the sand and then you got to put your shoes on or something like that, and you just put this thing and you get all the sand off your surfboard or your feet or whatever you want, like in a real shower. Yeah.
That's right. Just hang it up anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere. Just hang it anywhere. Wash. And my son goes to Burning Man every year, which I went one year with him, and that was one of the issues, were showers and running water. And so, man, if everybody has one of these, it's all solved.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
I'll bring some to Burning Man.
Yeah. Get a concession. But also in the third world, it sounds like, in developing countries where water's more important instead of, I guess, I don't know, I've never lived there or traveled there much, that, you have a well and there's a lot of wasted water going on, where this really conserves water for what it should be used for.
We've actually shown it to some relief agencies, and they were very, very interested in the way that it, conserved the water, because, water is a very, very precious commodity, especially in these places where it's hot and desert and stuff like that. And, getting the maximum number of hand washes out of, a plastic bottle is very important. And these bottles are everywhere. There's something like 90 million bottles.
90 million bottles. So now you're gonna save our garbage problem too, right?
We want to turn them into showers and taps.
Right.
That's where we're at.
Maybe we put beer in these things eventually or something.
That's been suggested, actually.
I see. I could see that in Australia, right? Well, that's just wonderful. And your past includes a lot of work with NGOs around the world too, so you're sensitive to those kinds of issues. Yeah. But it sounds like your heart's really in camping and stuff like that, where this is more important too.
I've been passionate about sustainability and doing good in the world. I've always, whatever my work career or life has taken me, I've always wanted to do some good in the world, and it was a fusion of my work with NGOs and my work when I was running environmentally friendly events. It was a fusion of those two things, you see, that kind of led me to want to, take my hand to inventing and doing an invention that was something that was eco-friendly, something that was good for people and good for the planet. Yeah.
So now you're raising money on Kickstarter to get the money to go in production, right? You got somebody in Melbourne who has all this silicone stuff that the magic silicone will be made out of. And
that's it.
God, you're like 2/3 of the way there. You got 20 more days, but more importantly, people could get it now a hell of a lot cheaper than when this is on the market, right?
That's right, yeah. Very good. That support, obviously, that support is brilliant. We want to get it out there to the wider world,
So you could be the first, which is wonderful. You could be helping you get this out to the world and getting it cheap.
That's right. That's right. I think
By
the
the way,
bird
right. Well, wonderful, Stuart. And so we can find you at SPATAP, SPATAP.com, and that will take you right to Kickstarter, to find out. And actually, people ought to see that video you have on Kickstarter, because that's terrific. I mean, it is. It says it all, and you get a feeling of life in the outdoors and in Australia. It's almost like a travelogue. Wants me to get on a plane and come out there next winter.
Anytime you're welcome, mate. Doors are always open. You know what I mean? Doors are always open.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stuart. It's spatap.com, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Take
All
care.
the best. Nice one.